Thank you very much. You took the trouble to come. I will tell you something in 2 sentences. You will be very surprised. I'll tell you something in 2 sentences. You are here now to listen, maybe learn and apply the concept of slow life. And you've paid for it on top of that. Naturally, you expect me to defend the concept of slow life. 2, here's the sentence that I supply. I'm against the concept of slow life. You laugh, but I'm still against it. I'm really against it because life, there is no slow or fast, there is a cycle. The sun has a cycle, the earth has a cycle, seasons, climates, migrating birds, blooming flowers, blushing tomatoes, all have a cycle. No matter what you do, the world always turns at the same speed. For example, 2006, we all had a very bad time now. The world feels sorry for us. Let me spin a little faster. He can't say, let's rejoice, you're weird, or we started 2007. Well, he wouldn't say, I'll take it slow just in case from the provinces. A tomato is never in a hurry. Have you ever heard of a tomato rushing? You can't. If a tomato were to speak, it's actually a terrible idea. The first thing it would say would be, don't eat me, don't eat me. A tomato is never in a hurry to grow. I mean, it doesn't say, I'll grow up as soon as possible, I'll turn red, I'll hold my breath and turn red. It's not the only one with such nonsense, such stupidity. Why is that? Because they say the only creature that knows that it is going to die and that its life is short is the human being. Man knows he's going to die, he feels sad. He also knows that his life is short and he's sad about that too. And that's why he wants to live fast. That's why he wants to make us love so much in his short life. But there are songs we like. We listen to them, we sing them. As we listen and sing, do we feel sad that the song will end? Or do we enjoy the song? For example, let's say Mozart's most famous work is In Our Country. Do we take it slow because we love this song so much? Do we take it slow because yesterday we were in our mother's arms? So I could sing a few of my favorite songs. Are we singing a song too fast? Yesterday, when we were living in our mother's arms, running along the paths of our flowery garden, I became a rapper. Do we do it? We don't. Why not? Because it's the breaks in between that make music. I'm saying something important. It's not the sound that makes music, it's the silence. Music without silence is just noise. That's why we need to stop in between, friends. We need to be silent in between. These are not my personal subjective opinions. Now I'm going to prove it with a very scientific experiment. What happens if we live fast? I'll prove it. Don't let me turn my back. Now, yes, it's a wheel. It's a wheel. Why is it closed? We need to open this instead of spinning. Let me throw this away. Now the wheel. They also call it a Newton wheel or a color wheel. But we couldn't find it ready-made, so we invented it and colored it. Here are blue, red, yellow. Newton did an experiment. Now there are colors. You spin it, it turns white. If you ask Newton, this experiment, of all the colors of white, if you ask me, and you're going to ask me, Newton's dead. For those of you who have just heard, I'm sorry for your loss. If you ask me this experiment, live fast. I mean, we live fast to experience more things. If he lives fast, we don't experience more. We miss the colors of life. We miss the colors of life. Look again now, the colors. Now, did you prove it scientifically? I emphasize, if you live fast, you miss life. A man who knows he's mortal. He lives fast to get more to love in his short life. And what does he do? He wants to live a lot. He wants to experience many things. In the past, for example, in the agricultural society, the number of things to experience was certain. He was planting seeds, wasn't he, teacher? He was waiting. So there is no need to speed it up. There is no possibility. The things he can do are limited. Let's go back even further to the Stone Age. In the Stone Age, friends, what man could do was limited to stone. In fact, he could not do many things that can be done today with stones. For example, playing 5 stones, okay, etc. He was limited to the stone. He could use the stone. He could do something with a single stone in order to carve that stone. Thousands of years passed. Then it took thousands of years before he had the wisdom to polish the stone he had chiseled. So we have to wait thousands of years for an era to open. The age we are in now has many names. The age of speed, the internet age, the atomic age, the space age, age. We have come to such a state. Before one era closes, another opens. This one opened, this one is still open. The other one opened, all the ages remained open. When it stays open, it dries up, generates drafts, gets stuck in between, gets sick. We catch cold. Now man invents more and more things in order to live more and more, but he invents surplus things. Surplus lives, lifetimes, inventions like shops, surplus to need. What do I mean? For example, now we all have they have other lives. We invented parallel universes, quantum physics, and so on. So now we are all here sharing the flow of a life together. We all have a Twitter life, a Facebook life at the same time. An Instagram life? I don't know. On the one hand, our minds are here. On the other hand, as in all conversations with friends 3 minutes later, I wonder if there is a new season. What is he missing on Facebook? How many likes does she get on Instagram? Who proposed to whom on the marriage programs on live TV right now? There is a world going on there. There are cinemas, a lot of movies we can't go to. There are a lot of books coming out now that we haven't read, that we can't read. The news is live on the internet now. What are we missing? What happened to the person who wanted to experience so much? When we wanted to experience so much, he has become a person who can't catch up and is full of anxiety about missing out. We are anxious. Speed makes us anxious. The desire to experience so much makes us anxious. It didn't work. We got anxious. And a third thing, knowing that its life is short, knowing that it is mortal, it is looking for a meaning to its life. So breathing is not enough. Life itself is not meaningful. Also, something that ends cannot be meaningful. It is looking for a meaning. Again, if we ask a cat if it were to speak, there comes a time when it says, "Mom," a cat said "Mom," or something like that. If we ask a cat the meaning of life for a cat is life. The meaning of life is to live. If we ask a squirrel, it is to live. Squirrel doesn't have a career plan. I should crack more walnuts. I use crack walnuts literally. Sir, let me make a career in this field and go to a walnut cracking college. I don't have one. Only one person can make sense and tries to give it a new meaning. However, as I said, life itself is a miracle, but he realizes it. He tries to look for a meaning. What are the meanings he finds? Let me summarize it like this. It's always about he wants to have a profession to give meaning to his life. He wants to have a title. Sir, to have a home, to have a wife, to have a child, to have freedom, to have a belief, to have an ideology. Always worrying about having. Will I ever be? Will I ever be? And after that, the anxiety of protecting it. The anxiety of protecting it. Don't let it get away. Don't let it get away. Anxiety. Excuse me, what happened? Maybe there's more. I recognize 3 of them. People who wanted to experience a lot in their short lives tried to attribute meaning to the many things they wanted to experience. What did he get? Anxiety, the human being. And 100% anxiety. He sees you worrying. That didn't sound good. And now I'll give you my solution. What are we going to do? What are we going to do to get rid of this anxiety and be happy? 1, we will learn to choose friends. This means, let's say, we want to go to all the movies. We're worried that we're missing out. If we know which movies are bad, and we'll go to a good movie. And we don't feel sorry for the bad movies we missed or the movie we did well in. What kind of movie is this? We don't say my life is blue. The same goes for a book. The same goes for a buffet. Isn't it? So we need to learn to choose. And to learn to choose, we need culture. We need culture, I'm telling you, to make money. You don't need culture, but you need culture to spend money, friends. Believe me, everyone gets scared when I say culture. I'm talking about food culture, for example. Instead of worrying about what to eat when you go to the buffet. We bought this, we saved it, I missed that too. Oops, I'm going to eat 3 plates. You're upset that you can't eat with 97 plates. Enjoy that too. But if there is a palate culture, a food culture, you say, I know this is not to my taste. I don't want this. I'll eat 3 sweet dishes. I'll eat these. You don't feel sorry for eating them, eating good food, and you don't feel sorry for missing them. I've repeated it. We need to learn to choose, and for that we need culture too, friends. In fact, everything we need is within ourselves. What we need, there's a proverb, the friend who knows where the fingernail has been moved. Honestly, if anyone is itchy right now, please, I want to see an itchy person. Let's turn on the lights. Really, yes, hoja, hoja, hoja. My nose is really itchy. Friends, look, it was itchy. Maybe some people scratched it in places I couldn't see. Without the GPRS of my finger, without opening Google Map, without Yandexing, without asking a friend, he found the itch. I will give another example. Babies the size of a hand don't know how to walk yet. They are crawling. How can it know how to read? How can it speak? They say if a mineral is missing, he eats sand. In the past, they used to take them in because their child was eating sand. The doctor wouldn't do a test. Oh, right, there is a mineral deficiency. The little baby didn't study medicine, didn't specialize. How does he know what the doctor knows? It's in him. There are many examples of this. There is an experiment. I don't want to go on. When we say we have a craving, if there are no external stimuli, what we crave, what we say we have a craving for, is a need of our body. If vitamin T is deficient, it craves oranges. There are experiments. Research it or trust me, this is the case. So why is it like this? If everything we need is inside us, all the knowledge is inside us, why can't we listen? Why can't we make the right choices? Because, friends, there are too many external voices. That outside voice, it drowns out and suppresses the voice that comes from within us. It is not only suppressive, it is oppressive. There are many examples. One of them is advertisements. One of them is what people say. And the people who say what people say are our well-meaning parents, our well-meaning teachers, this and that. Let me come to advertisements, the most conditional example. I studied a course called Advertising Theory at university. The first sentence of the first course, the first sentence in the account haunts me. The purpose of advertising is to change the consumer's order of needs. He speaks very harshly. You don't say that in a fight. I repeat, the purpose of advertising is to change the consumers, create new needs if necessary. Now, do you understand what he means? It means that some external voices condition you to need what you don't really need. So it's the truth inside you. He can't hear your outside voice. Please, now you will be aware of this and you will feel a relief. And sometimes now what happens when we talk about giving meaning to life? Giving meaning to life. One moment you can't buy a shoe, for example. Because you can't buy it, it becomes the meaning of your life. Because you only think about it, you buy it. It's just another thing in your eyes because it's not your real need. Or you can't buy it, your salary is not enough, you feel sad. Don't be sad, dear brother. It's not your real need, I'm telling you. I've studied it, trust me. I'd like to call it the external voice of advertisers. There are too many of these voices. I'm over it. And what do we do now? I said, our inner voice tells us everything we need, but first and foremost, advertisements in all kinds. Authority, soft or hard, oppresses us with its external voice. What are we going to do? Abi, inside you, we also live in society. There are traditions, customs, cultures. We can't do everything that comes from within you. I know there is a realistic step. If you can't do something that comes from within you, at least don't do what you don't feel like doing. You know what I mean? There are many definitions of freedom. One is free one. Freedom is not doing whatever you want. If you don't do something you don't want to do, you are free. You know what I mean? At least don't do what you don't feel like doing. Don't do what you don't feel like doing. I'll give you one very, very good one that will make you feel good. This outer voice, inner voice, your attitude, to make the distinction. Sir, to understand my real need. When you find yourself in a situation you don't want, just say this, one magic phrase. Inside, do I have to? Think about it. It helps a lot in sorting. Do I have to this man? Do I have to this woman? I feel sad because I can't buy this shoe. Do I have to buy it? Do I have to this boss? Or do I have to this employee? It will be a great relief. Believe me, and you will distinguish between what you really need and what you don't need. But look, on its own, it has a very therapeutic effect. Let's test it. Let's try it. Look, what does it say inside you? I am human. It's very relaxing. Shall we say it together? Did you say it inside? Are you relaxed? Look, he says, I don't have to do anything. I don't have to do anything. I'm a human being. I don't have to do anything. Are we relieved?